Here are 5 lessons that most people learned during these corona times that just passed the other day. And just in case there's another pandemic looking to come in the future, that you will be more prepared for it than before. The first lesson that most people learned from these corona times is to look at cash flow when they're looking at investments. Cash flow that will be coming to you, and you will not have to be putting effort every day to get this income rolling, especially if this cash flow is not dependent on tenants. Yes, tenants during the corona times were not paying their rent on time. Many were struggling with paying rents. In fact, majority of landlords up to now are having a lot more vacancies than they had before the COVID time. So ensuring that you have cash flow from sources that are passive in nature, that are not too dependent on rental income, because rental income fluctuated quite a bit during COVID time and actually dipped even after COVID. Why? Majority of people could not be able to pay their rents. Majority of people are scaling down. Majority of people are moving to cheaper towns, moving up country. And so depending on a passive income that is solely rental income was a bit tricky for most. So plan for your cash flow. That is one thing that people need to learn. Then the other thing is people need to plan for expenditure. You plan for expenditure, you prioritize for expenditures. Why? There are people who were earning 50% or had a basic pay cut. This pay cut, if you are living just on the survival line, all the money you're making is going out, a lot of people struggled. So these are 2 points. Learn how to live below your means. Below your means, not on your means, below your means. So if you're making 100,000, learn to live on 50,000. Then the 50,000 can be adjusted for any lifestyle things or invested directly. But be able to meet your needs from 50% of your income, because during COVID time, people had pay cuts. Businesses are not making as much money, so the flow of money was much less. So learn to live on 50% or slightly more of your income. So have much more dispensable towards your investments and any lifestyle things that you may desire at point from time to time, but live below your means. The other thing that people learn during COVID time is to diversify. Diversify, diversify, diversify. One thing is not working, work on another one. One thing is not working, work on another one. There are some people who made millions during COVID, but many people did not make as much money, especially if the money that you make was dependent on provision of physical services, physical goods, was dependent on services that needed to be offered in person. A lot of such businesses were not working. So people have learned from COVID time that you need to also have a source of income or an investment that does not have you to go and offer physical services there and then, because with lockdowns people are not moving, things are not moving, employees are not coming to work, people are not moving to shops to buy. So you need to diversify your income or your businesses so that one can be able to thrive during this time of crisis while another one is not doing as well. Then the other thing that people learned is to go online, digitize, automate, basically learn to make your business or your source of income much less dependent on physical distribution or physical moving of things and more dependent on online. If you had a business that was a college, learn to offer digital teaching services. Learn to put your things online, because when people can't move physically, they go online. So that is one way that businesses learn to cope with businesses and not being able to do physical services to being able to diversify and do all things. The other thing that people learned as related to that is you do not live to live in a city. You do not live to set up a business where a lot of people are. You just need to have people be able to access your services, whether online, whether in a closer market, a closer shop. because COVID taught people that rents are some of the most expensive things for a business, and especially if your income is not as consistent because of a COVID like scenario. So people learned that you could set up a business anywhere. I've met people who set up their business in their rural areas. People who moved their business from Nairobi to a town that is nearby. People who moved their business from a physical location to their home. So people learned that you can be able to do a business and be able to do it from anywhere. Because if you offer services that are quality or goods that are quality, you do a good job at it, and you create value for your customers, they will come and look for you wherever and whenever you are. If you create enough trust, people will not need you to have a physical shop to distribute your goods or physical shop they can visit. They will be sending you money, you send goods. You don't need to be physically present in a location in the city, because COVID taught people that if you're trustworthy and do a good job at what you do, people will still trust you and pay you money, even if you're distributing items from your own home. Another thing that people learned is there are several things that are affected immediately there is a lockdown. The first thing is provision of food. The food prices go up. The provision of fuel and energy. Energy prices go up. All these things compound and increase the amount of money that is getting out of your pocket. So the people who learned, they set up solar systems to be able to reduce their energy bills. They started buying in bulk items when the crisis was in the horizon, so that when the crisis comes, there's the food prices that shoot up will not affect them as much. So they're starting to put money also in cereals and all these non-perishable foods, because when COVID comes and when all these other things come in terms of lockdowns and things like that, the prices will definitely go up. People who have homes additionally started looking of ways to be able to collect their own water, because you need to be in a place where you are much more independent in terms of water, because you cannot survive without water. So collecting water. In terms of energy, having solar so that you have some energy that is secure, that is yours, that no one can touch. Keeping a few animals like chicken to provide you with eggs and meat once in a while. Having kitchen gardens so that you can be able to produce some vegetables, because vegetables are the things that will increase in price the highest when there's a lockdown kind of situation. So people are learning to grow their own food in their own small gardens, in their own backyards, keeping chickens, collecting their own water, having their own electricity. The more independent you are to depend on distribution chains of energy, food, water, and all these things, the more secure you are. People have learned from that. And the people who have done that are more likely to be able to survive any lockdown scenario. Of course, in addition to that, a lot of people, especially Kenyans, are now building their homes. There was this place I had bought a piece of land. It didn't look like it was having so much development. I myself never thought of building a house for myself there. But I went the other day and found that people have really built after COVID. People are building. Then you ask people, why are you building? They said, when COVID came, I was stuck in the city. Things were going expensive, but I had this piece of land. Income was not coming as much. So now, when I have some income, I put all my investments towards this house, because when another pandemic comes, I'm better fitted in this location, in my own house, in my own land, having my own chicken, having my own vegetables, collecting my own water, collecting my own electricity, than when I'm stuck in a rental property in a city. So these are some of the few lessons that people have learned from Corona and COVID-like lockdowns, especially as regards to family, money, and survival. I hope you're learning, you're growing, and becoming better in your finances. My name is George Kingori, your online finance guy. Thank you and enjoy your day.